I want to bring in Alan Rosenblatt, in charge of our social media, as part of the conversation. Alan, go ahead.
Yes, Deb, this is really inspiring, and I want to go back and really reemphasize, you're not a hacker. You're just somebody who is really good at looking up information online and sharing it, which is something that is within the reach of almost any American citizen, of any person in the world, regardless of their technical skills. And so I really want to commend you on the idea that you don't have to be the technical expert to be an instrumental part of what's going on. Can you speak to how many people are like you in the network? I mean, do you have hundreds of people, thousands of people? Are you able to draw the line between those who are actually working regularly with Anonymous and those who just jump in based on the issue? How big do you think your network is?
Honestly, I think our network is millions. And I think that people make that choice of what issues they're going to jump in on and what they're going to do. One thing I do want to make clear is everybody is anonymous. Anonymous is not a group that meets in a back room somewhere or something like that. Anonymous is, like I say, your neighbor, your teacher, maybe your priest. It's everybody. And you can choose to be anonymous about any issue, social or otherwise, that you feel passionate about. And, that's one of the things we're losing in this world is our passion.
I totally agree with that, yeah.
If you have something that you're passionate about and you want to make a difference, you have a skill. I have these skills. I'm a grandma. You have a skill, use it. Use that skill. You don't have to be a hacker. You don't have to do things that are illegal. You can make a change. The change is us. And if we don't do it, who will?
Can you tell us what other issues you're working on at this time?
Well, I live with my son's family. My daughter-in-law's father was doused with Agent Orange in Vietnam. He's currently dying from the exposure. She has Chiari. It's a brain disease. Unknowingly, she has it. She only discovered it 3 years ago. She's 36 years old. Her 16-year-old daughter has Chiari. She had brain surgery this last January. And now we find that the 10-year-old grandson has Chiari as well.
Wow.
So it's a third generation, and the company that manufactures this dioxin, which is Monsanto Dow, it totally denies it. Now Vietnam is suing them. Many countries over the world have banned Roundup. So I was in a situation where I'm watching my family die. I'm watching my family be disabled. I'm watching children sick. And I felt helpless and hopeless. So I chose to tweet about it. And I realized there were lots of other people that were against GMOs and were against the Monsanto stuff. And that's how I got involved. I met so many anonymous. And then they had others, just like me, they have other concerns about things that are going on in the world. And you know what's unique about Anonymous? What? I have friends in every country, not just America, not just Australia, not just Ireland or the UK, every country. I know people everywhere, and we're all alive.
Your battle with about Agent Orange raises an interesting point as well, because this is an issue that's been around since the 70s, and it's gone through several phases of activism and activity, but this is really kind of a new dawn for that because of social media. There is the opportunity for people who are just at the receiving end of the horrible impact of the use of the chemical agent are now in a position to be able to find other people around the world and coordinate and become part of a much larger voice than they could all by themselves, and find hope and potential resolution.
We're talking with Alan Rosenblatt, in charge of social media and Take Action News, and also Debs. She goes by Debbie Girl, D-E-B-B-Y Girl 1, Debbie Girl 1 on Twitter. She's part of Anonymous, the organization which has launched the war against Westboro Baptist Church, called OpWBC online. And Debs, just before we let you go here, any sort of direct contact that you've had with other Anonymous members, or has your contact strictly been limited to online interactions or tweets or emails?
It's strictly online interactions, and rarely do they do emails. We all keep our privacy. Privacy is a very important thing. And I know that there are groups out there, especially in the hacktivist arena, that know each other much better than I probably know the people that are involved in what I do. But, we don't just tweet about this. We say Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and how's your family, and that kind of stuff, too. We're friends, but we don't see each other's faces.
So you haven't had any, say, direct contact with Cosmos the God, the 15-year-old kid who would manage to hack into Westboro's computers, or actually I think even the CIA website before that. No direct contact with those elements of Anonymous. I have talked to Anonymouses that have done some things that weren't legal. And, I wouldn't want to reveal too much about them, but it's interesting because, like I say, they're passionate. They're passionate about what they're doing, and they're going to continue until they reach their goal. And I generally agree with their goal, and that's kind of disturbing to think that you promote something that's illegal, but, you got to have passion. Have you, when these people who are doing the hacking that you've had some interaction with, other members of Anonymous, have they said how far they intend to go? Would they, for example, completely disable Westboro Baptist Church's website if they could?
I believe they would. I think that's a no-brainer.
They've already done a denial of service, right?
The big thing they have is to keep the internet free. Keep it up and running for everybody.
And Alan, as you mentioned, they've already done a denial of service. I think I saw that Cosmos the God, in fact, was able to figure out a way to download gay porn onto one of the Westboro Baptist leaders because God hates fags or whatever it is they're saying is. So clearly there's that sort of level of activism. And I imagine it's a source of great enjoyment and also pride, Debs, for you and other members to see just how creative fellow members of Anonymous really are.
Yeah, sometimes I'm a little jealous of those skills.
Well, Debs, we appreciate you joining us on Take Action News. We will be in contact. We love, obviously, to keep track of any developments, any information that you think that our listeners, our viewers ought to know about. Please be in contact. And again, it's Debbie Girl 1 on Twitter. She is taking action on behalf of the Anonymous organization, which is targeting Westboro Baptist Church. She is one of the foot soldiers in that war, who I suppose we could say is a comms officer. She's spreading communications and information across the network. Debs, thanks for being part of Take Action News. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, and I hope everybody joins me.
Okay, thanks, Debs. We'll talk more with Alan Rosenblatt on the other side of this break. You're listening and you're watching the Take Action News.